Hello there and welcome me in another part. So where we left last time was making the UV just over here. What we need to do here, just select UVs and just unfold them, just like the scale them, just fit them on the side. So this UV will be kind of ready to go. We don't need to worry about this right now. Um, So we need to do this bit and this small bit. Still, if you're gonna think about the leg, just don't worry about this now. We just don't need it. Later you're gonna see why. Um, with this, uh, with this selected, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to create UVs. We're gonna notice that we didn't use those two, cylinder and spherical. Spherical is mainly just for sphere, and we don't have any sphere here, and cylinder for cylinders, but we don't have any cylinders. But actually, at this point, we're just gonna use cylinder, and what we notice, what's gonna happen is that it just project the make a cylinder projection, but it didn't project nothing from the top and bottom. But that's okay. That's okay for us. Um, what we need to take care about the sides. So now just select the face from the top, make planar mapping, best planar, y-axis, top, and the same from the bottom. Just close it. When right now we're gonna go to the UV texture editor, just select everything and shift, right click, and UV layer. What we're gonna notice is that basically if we're gonna kind of unfold those sides, then they doesn't really look like that. And sometimes when we gonna, for example, just go to show. Um, Sometimes when we're gonna, for example, try to unfold, it's just gonna make that bazaar things because Maya didn't want to like kind of sometimes have like uh, difficulties. But what we can do here, we just basically can do take the scale tool and just scale it down. So it basically looks just like that. And the problem is fixed. Yeah, and right now we have the seams just over the square and bottom square, but that's okay. We're gonna fix it in Photoshop with our texture. Next thing what we gonna have to look at is this part. Just select all of those, make a planar mapping. What we notice is from Z axis and best plane, and this one is done. Now just gonna have to like take a planar mapping. What we're gonna need, this one's gonna be from Y, this one gonna be from X, as we can see over here. This one gonna be from say this one from Y, and this one and this one. Okay, so it's gonna be from X. Yeah, with all of those selected, what we can do here is just same, go to this layout UVs. Now just select the edges just along the main edges. and just try to unfold them. It didn't do a great job. We have some seams in some parts, but this one we're gonna fix this one in Photoshop. We don't need to worry about this. Actually, if you don't have any other tool, this one gonna be good enough for now for us. Okay, now what we're gonna do, we're gonna select everything, go to our texture editor, select all the UVs, and just layout UVs. And that's all. Now Maya, just lay out all of our UVs in all model in one plane. But it didn't do the really good job for us, because mainly if we're gonna see this part, that's not gonna be really visible. So we actually don't really need to use so many pixels in our texture to see this. For us, this could be really small, or like almost non-visible. Same this one. We don't need it really big. So we can scale it down, select everything one more time, and again layout UVs. As well, this time didn't do really well. Selecting those, what we can notice, the biggest one is gonna be this square. So this square actually, that's gonna be on the top. So this square, we can try to use the most pixels out of the space. Yep. This selected, we can just pull it down a bit, just to maximize the space what we can use. This one actually is bottom, so we can overlap bottom and top, because that is gonna share just a bit. That is gonna share just on the middle. It's gonna share just a bit on the sides. So actually, we can overlap those two together, just to be precise. So if usually we shouldn't overlap the textures, but with this we can actually cheat to maximize the amount of pixels required on the texture for us, and that's gonna be kind of good for us. What we can do with this, basically what we need with our pixels is this one. Right, how we can do this? Can maybe move this one, just rotate it, scale it a bit down for now, move this one, and just take this part, move it, scale it a bit, just to maximize the space. We can take this part to show, move it over, just focus on it, make it bigger, just hide it somewhere here. Take this one, just make sure it's not going out of our 0 to 1 space, hide it over here. To maximize this this long bit, because we need to use the most of it, most of the pixels of possible. Maya that does not always do perfect job. Sometimes it's just gonna help you, and later you have to do it more or less everything by hand. So now we have like a really difficult choice um, out of a kind of uh, um, job is that we're gonna have this one. As we can see, this is our top and this is our bottom. So basically we cannot really overlap those ones, but those gonna be less visible, but still try to fit it somewhere here. And now this is our leg. This is just one leg, and if we're gonna create now another leg, it's gonna use this same texture. As you can see, it have the same kind of texture, like but if we're gonna move over, um, when we clone it, we have the same UV layout, but it was in the same space. But if because we don't want to make like kind of all the legs the same, so that's gonna be a front leg, and that's gonna be a back leg. And now two legs can have different texture, but if we right now just gonna place them correctly. Right. If right now we're gonna make a trick of grouping those, Control G or Command G, duplicate those two. Just gonna close it for a second. Do we duplicate it? We duplicate it. Go to -1. And go to our editor. Now we can see that we have 4 legs, but only 2 spaces for textures. So basically, instead of splitting a leg geometry like UV and pixels on 4, we split it on 2, so we save double the resources necessary for us. To be honest, we can just move it over and just scale it, but make those ones a bit bigger. Still we have some pixels which we can still use for our texture. So you can move it over a bit and make this one a bit bigger. Just over here. And actually we can make those ones a bit bigger as well. But just gonna select 2 of them. And we're gonna just scale them together so they're gonna have the same space. Okay, and right now we have our model using just one texture, which we kind of um, maximize a bit. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna have to uh, paint the texture for us in Photoshop, but this one in the next part.